Here's the mindful man reading another chapter of Catastrophe. Jack never came home that evening. He was busy drowning his sorrows in the pub and telling everyone who didn't want to listen about the bloody cat and how it had caused so much trouble. Unfortunately for Jack, not many people had sympathy for him, because unlike Jack, most people like cats, and in their eyes they were cute, cuddly and inoffensive, unlike Jack, who made a habit of offending people. By the end of the evening he had drunk so much that he was in no state to go home, and he spent the evening in the gutter surrounded by old newspapers and curious, hungry rats. He woke with a terrible headache and he went to find somewhere else to stay. I'm not going back there again, he said to himself, and he threw the house keys into the nearest puddle, where they sank like his dreams. The next morning, when Kate found out that Jack wouldn't be coming home, she tried her best to look sad, but inside she was relieved. Maybe now Snowy and I can relax more and have more fun without being shouted at, she thought, relieved. So she stroked Snowy, who looked up, and he was looking just as relieved. Marie sat at the kitchen table with a big mug of coffee in front of her. I phoned your dad, she said with a faint smile on her face. How did it go? Said Mary, who had grown used to their frequent rows. Better than expected, said Marie with an even bigger smile. He's coming over for tea tonight, she said, grinning. Will you be pleased to see him? She asked Kate. Of course I will. He's my dad. He hasn't been here since you know when. You know when was since their last big row, when Marie had thrown a glass of water over him and then Kate had thrown his favourite slippers onto the fire. It was at that moment that he had stormed out, and that was when things had taken a turn for the worse. He'll freak out when he sees Snowy, said Kate as she watched Snowy gobble up her cereal and lap at her water with gusto. Are you nervous? Said Kate. A little, Marie, she replied. I don't want another row. We're still married, she added, and I was never really looking for a divorce, she lamented wistfully. What's your plans for today? Said Marie as she topped up her coffee. I'm not sure, said Kate, but I'm sure I will think of something, she said mischievously. Hope you enjoyed that chapter. Please sub me.